Hey YouTube, it's Landon with Order the Traveling Hats here today, and I've got another video for you. Recently I put a winch mount on the GX, and it was from a company called SDHQ. I think that stands for Super Duty HQ, or headquarters. Apparently they watched the video, liked the video, and reached out to me and wanted to send me a few more things to try. We kind of emailed back and forth. This by no means is a paid endorsement or paid review at all. No money changed hands, but they did send me a few small items to try on the GX. And I took them on just because I really was impressed with their product. You know, that winch mount was so well made and mounted up so well, and I've been really pleased with it for the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks since I put it on. So I got the new stuff here today, and we're gonna go through what they sent me, and then we're gonna put it on the GX, and we're gonna talk about a little bit kind of why you might want some of these items on your vehicle, so that if you decide you do, you can go and order them from them. They're super nice people. Their service has been fantastic, and I have absolutely only good things to say about them so far. So without any more ado, let's go ahead and get into this, and I'll show you what they sent me. All right, so I kind of opened this box a little bit. I just kind of wanted to show how it's packed. So they use their own tape. It says SDHQ on it. It's pretty cool. You open it up, and they pack their winch mount the same way as they pack their small items. So you get instructions and kind of a packing list of what all they sent me with this. This was the Lexus GX 460 A-pillar light mounts, so this is that kit. Kind of set that over to the side. They send sticker and nice swag, so you get cool stickers from them, lots of stickers. Actually, if this is gonna be anything like the winch mount was, I got a lot of stickers. Then they use this foam stuff that I guess they put in, and it's kind of soft and sets up around the part. So they package them in that so they can't rattle around, and they're pretty secure. So I got an A-pillar mount. This is one of the A-pillar mounts. Now this thing, super well made. The powder coat on it is amazing, and they've you can kind of see there probably laser kind of etched in their logo and an American flag. So I guess that's probably right side up for you. And that's just a nice touch. It's subtle. It's not like, you know, overpowering in your face, but it's definitely there, and I really like that. I like that style. So really well made part. It's steel, it's thick, heavy. It's gonna support any kind of load you wanna put on it with whatever light you're ever gonna put on it, and it's just a nice piece. So that's the first one of those. I'm assuming that's probably like the driver's side. And then you take out another piece of foam, and you've got another A-pillar mount down here. Same thing, it's got the laser engraved little emblem on it, and it's made as just a mirror image to the other one out of the same material. The powder coating is just as good. It's just, these are phenomenally well made. These are really well made, very much worth the price. They're excellent. So I think this kit, I want to say it retails on their website for like $120 maybe. And looking at the build quality, 100% worth it. Very nice piece. So I'm gonna set those to the side, and we're gonna get to what we actually are gonna put on the GX today, because I don't have A-pillar lights for the GX yet, and I'm kind of researching those. That can be another video in itself, is how to choose A-pillar lights. And I'm trying to go through that and figure out what I want to put on. So those are gonna go on, but they're gonna be a little bit, a future video. So then they put one more piece under it, and we got a bunch more stickers. So we got, man, 1, 2, 3 more stickers that are, you know, one we already got an American flag one, but then we got kind of a blacked out one, and then the same thing but in white or black on white, and then white on black. So you can kind of see that. And then we got this. So this is what I was really most interested in. This is the Toyota multi-platform ABS Guard kit. So this is the kit. It's some machined aluminum. I think they're made out of billet that go over the ABS sensors at your wheels. Those kind of hang down surprisingly and are vulnerable to rocks or like maybe a stick or something. And this just is going to provide a little bit of protection over that. And the kit's complete, comes with everything you need. The instructions are on this QR code here. We're gonna scan that in a minute and kind of go through it, and then I'm gonna put these on today just because I think they'll really help out, just kind of making a potential weak point on the trail, less of a weak point. They obviously aren't going to survive like a big giant rock or anything. I wouldn't expect them to. They'll probably do more than I think, but they're really there for small rocks, stone chips, maybe a stick that you kick up on the trail, hitting that sensor that's basically plastic and damaging it, which is going to disable your vehicle. It's going to shut down the ABS system, which is going to shut down the traction control, A-track, etc. And while you'll still probably be able to drive it, it's going to drive a little different. And those sensors probably are not inexpensive to replace. So these are going to be great. I'm going to put these on today. So we'll just go ahead and kind of open these up since they're in the bag and see kind of what we got. So I'm just going to get them out and kind of look at them. Man, what I would expect from them, these are made incredibly well. You can see the machining marks, the tooling marks on the inside where they've milled this, but then they've polished them so that they're just flat. You can see them, but you can not really feel them that well. They're there a little bit. And then they've also machined in kind of an American flag on each one of them, and they're labeled A and A. So I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's going to be in the instructions. Probably front and back or something like that. And then we got the other two, which are labeled B and B. Same build quality, same just wonderful construction. Milled pieces of aluminum are always cool. These are milled to the point, you know, I've got a background in aviation from way back when, and these are milled just like I'd expect to see on an aircraft or a helicopter or something like that. Even they've kind of chamfered the edges so there's no sharp edges on it. Just made incredibly well. Just real attention to detail. These are super nice pieces. So there's a hardware kit with this as well. It's got kind of these, they look like heat treated bolts, but I bet they're coated somehow for corrosion, and a couple of nuts. Don't really know what the nuts are for. You only get a couple of them, and then you get, I think, more bolts than you need. So you get 1, 2, now they are different lengths, so that probably has something to do with it. So as I was saying, the bolts are 4 and 4, but they're different lengths, so I bet they're for multiple Toyota platforms, so probably like Tacoma, 4Runner, GX, whatever. And then these they're used to hold these on depending on which platform you're using. So we're gonna get the instructions on my phone, and we're gonna kind of figure out what goes where. I'm gonna pull the GX in, and then I'll show you how to put them on. Alrighty guys, so let me get over here in position. Right here is our sensor, right, this thing right here. And I'm gonna try to get at it, if I can, without taking the whole tire off. I don't think I need to. And it's just a 10mm bolt. It's not even torqued down that much, so it's actually pretty easy to get out. We don't have to remove the sensor, so I'll show you that. Just, I'm gonna thread the bolt out, okay, and we're gonna leave the sensor where it is. We're just gonna take the bolt out gently, and that's your bolt. So we're gonna go get the bolt and the correct guard and come back. I'll be right back. Hold on a minute. Okay guys, so I am back. Sorry that took a little bit. They want us to use just, the instructions say use a little bit of a blue Loctite on these because they don't get torqued down very much, like 6 inch-pounds or something, which is about what I took off. So I've just got my little bit of Loctite, and these are the M6 by 1 by 35mm button head screws that come in the kit. They say they're for Land Cruiser and the Tundra. Oops, let's see if we can get contorted around here and get this started. So I think they just kind of go like that and just kind of thread into place. And now they're Allen, so I'm just going to use this little Allen wrench here. I think it's a 5mm, and just kind of start to tighten it. And as it
Oh, this is just a pain in the butt because where it is, it's hard to get to. Would have been easier if I'd taken the tire off probably, but this will work. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's working. All right. So we're just going to tighten this up until it kind of is snug, and then that Loctite ought to keep it in place, and it's getting there. It's getting there. There it goes. So now I'm just going to kind of snug it down a little bit. That'll hold the sensor in place. Just like so. Yep. That's it. That's all we got to do. And that's it. It's installed. So I'm going to repeat it on the other side. And I think actually, that's not it. Hold on a minute. So of note, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little cutout on the guard here, right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's right there. And it'll kind of index in with the cable coming off the sensor. And then that's just to keep the cable from getting in a bind, I think. And then I'm just gonna sit here and get this thing tied again. There we go. And that's it. And that ought to keep the thing on. So the cable's coming through there straight. And I'm trying not to over tighten this. I don't have a way to torque this except guessing, because I don't have a torque wrench that measures in 6-inch pounds. So just kind of getting it snug, not over tightening it. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. So that's pretty cool. Pretty subtle. Don't really notice it. Stays out of the way of everything. But again, like you can imagine, if you're driving down a trail and a little rock comes up here or something and hits this, it's going to contact this big old chunk of aluminum instead of that plastic sensor that's under it. Now the sensor's plugged in here, so you could, if you break a sensor, just unplug it, take it apart. But this will kind of prevent you from breaking down on the trail. I don't know. Maybe I need to start carrying a sensor just as a spare, because these things are kind of exposed. But this should fix that problem. So we're going to put these on the rest of the way, and then when we get done, I'll kind of show you. I want to show you what it looks like on the back versus the front, because I think it's going to be a little different on the back. So why don't we go and put one on the back axle, and I'll show you that. So our ABS sensor is right here. I'm gonna get a light on it so we can see it a little better. So this is our sensor here, and the bolt is here, the sensor's here, it plugs in with a little Deutsch connector thing. The thing of note is the A is for the driver's side, and it'll fit just like this, and then the B is for the passenger side. So this is just another 10mm bolt. Should just come right off. Really easy, I think. Yeah, real easy. We're gonna have to pull the sensor out. So that should just come out like so. And I'm gonna kind of hang it over here. It's got a little lube on it. I don't want to get anything on that. I'm gonna try to, oh, it's just trying to act funny. So let me see if I can find a spot for that to hang, kinda. It just really wants to dangle not well. Let me try it over there, maybe. That'll work. Gently. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Now, it says I gotta remove this stud, and it gives me two 10mm nuts to kind of lock against each other, and then we should be able to turn that stud out. So we're gonna try that and see. I don't want to be too aggressive because I don't want to mess up my ABS sensors, but you know, this is what they say you got to do. And they haven't steered me wrong yet, so we're gonna try that. Maybe it's working, I don't know. Something's happening. Let's see. Yeah, Okay, well that worked. I got the stud out, so hallelujah. Now we got to figure out how to get these nuts off so we can use them again. Okay, so I got that off. That's a little tricky just because it's tight in there. But now we can see clearly how this is going to go. So we can reinstall our sensor, which is back here, kind of hanging out. And it's going to just sit back in there like so. Just like that. Yeah, get some light on it so we can see. I think it just sits in there like so. There, it indexed in. So now what we got to do is get a little Loctite on our bolt here as it goes through. Okay, so now we're just going to come in and set this right on here like so. We're going to make sure it's got a spot to index the cable as well. And then we're just going to kind of thread that in real gentle. All right, that's that one done. So you can see it's kind of parallel. The cable's running through the little cutout on the side. The sensor is completely encapsulated and encased except for the very top, and the axle hub mount there, the flange for that is right above it. So it's extremely well protected back here. It's a little more protected. You've got the e-brake cable, and it's tucked up a little higher and at an angle, but this just adds, again, another layer of protection. Now, you do have to take the stud out, which is a little pain in the butt. You got to take this out, and they give you a couple of nuts to kind of thread together and lock against each other so you can get it out. It took a couple tries for me to get that to work, but it worked. It would be easier if the stud was a little bit longer, but it is what it is. And then this just kind of bolts in. So seems to work pretty well. Pretty happy with it overall. I think it's in a good spot. So now we're gonna try to get this stud off camera, and nut off camera so we can reuse it on the other side.
All right, guys, that's the install. Pretty easy. I think it took me maybe an hour. I think it would have gone a lot faster if I had taken the wheels off the front as well as the back. I took them off the back because that sensor is up kind of on the upper side of the wheel, where the brake dust shield is, and it's actually kind of screwed into the axle flange. That's where the stud comes out of. And if you're looking at it head on from the outside of the vehicle, it's clocked at about the 2 o'clock position, so kind of hard to get to with the wheel on, so I had to take the wheels off. On the front, it's, you know, if you're looking from the outside of the vehicle in, it would be at the 3 o'clock position, kind of straight forward of the vehicle, so you can get to it pretty easily from underneath. But with the wheel on and kind of the barrel of the wheel getting in the way of my wrench, I had to kind of slowly do that with just an Allen key. And it was kind of slow going and tedious, but after that, it went on just fine. Taking the stud out, I wasn't really prepared for. I didn't know I was gonna have to do that. It wouldn't have been that difficult if the stud were a little longer and if it wasn't in a weird position. But beyond that, like, you know, it wasn't really that hard. One of the things I would say is make sure you clean the sensors off. And the area around that flange, especially mine, had a little bit of grit in it. And when I took the sensor out, I kind of got some grit down around that stud. When I took the stud out, there was a piece of grit in the thread. So I had to kind of lubricate that with a little WD-40 and kind of run my bolt through it a couple times just to get it cleaned out good so it'd go easy. I did not want to cross thread anything on this because it holds your ABS sensors in, and I didn't want to mess that up on a Sunday afternoon when I'm doing this because I need to drive this to work tomorrow. So it's all on. I'm going to take it for a short test drive, make sure everything's working well, and then we'll be done. But it's really pretty easy to put this on, and I think it's going to offer a huge amount of protection on the trail for a relatively vulnerable part on a Toyota. So if you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. We're trying to grow it. We're trying to get new members to kind of watch and see what we're doing as we build this thing out. Go check out SDHQ's website. I'm going to post a link in the description below. They're awesome. They've been phenomenal to work with. Love those guys, and I love their products. So please go check them out. Again, I'm not paid to say that. I've just ordered stuff from them now a couple of times. I'm probably going to order some more stuff because they make some kind of cool stuff for the GX. So just go check them out. They make stuff for Toyotas. They make stuff for, I think, Dodge, Fords, Lexus. and they're one of the few Lexus kind of aftermarket suppliers. So you ought to go check them out, see what they've got on offer. That's going to do it though. So I'm going to close out. I'm Landon. This is Order the Traveling Hats, and we hope to see you guys out there.